Today I'm going to walk you through self-hosting Holt Chat on your own server. If you haven't run into it before, it's an open source, end-to-end encrypted chat platform, basically your own private chat, no third party sitting in the middle. There's two ways of getting it going. You can either do a manual Docker setup, which gives you the full control over everything, or you can use the official installer, which is basically one command and a couple of prompts, and it does the whole thing for you. That's what we are going to do today. All you really need is a fresh Linux server and about 5 minutes. So let's get into it. Real quick, here's what an installer actually sets up for you. There's Keel, that's the backend, and it runs under UVcorn. There's Shore, which is the front end, and then Nginx sits out in front of both of those as an SSL reverse proxy. It also writes systemd services, so the whole thing comes back up on its own if the server reboots. And if you want, it will handle auto updates too. Okay, let's run it. So, it grabs the installer binary and runs it as a root. It needs root because it's installing Nginx, writing out systemd services and setting up your SSL certs. This is the first time running it, so we'll just pick install. It will ask you two options, the recommended installation or custom installation. Custom is where you can get into the weeds, set your own HTTPS port, pick the install directory, set the thread count, turn voice calls on or off, that kind of stuff. We don't need any of that right now, I'm going to go with recommended. It just asks you a handful of quick questions and pick sensible defaults for everything else. First thing it wants is a domain or an IP. You don't need to have a domain pointed at this box, so I'm just going to hand it the server's IP address and move on. Next up is a URL path prefix. By default, it will generate a random string for you, like the one you're seeing here. The idea is a little bit of security through obscurity. Your logging page isn't just sitting at some obvious guessable URL that bots can just stumble into. I'm happy with this random one, so I'll take it. But you'd rather have something clean and readable. But if you'd like something more readable and clean, like example.com/chat, this is where you would type that in. Then it asks you about an instance password. This one's optional. If you set it, anyone trying to sign up has to punch in that password before they even try and make an account, which is really handy if you don't want your instance to be wide open to random people on the internet finding it. I'm going to go ahead and set one up for the demo. With the password in, the next thing we need to do is automatic updates. So right here it is asking you upfront whether you would like automatic updates turned on or not. I'm going to say yes, and just so you know, it doesn't ask about the schedule yet. That comes a bit later, once the actual install has been finished. So for now, we'll just enable it, and now I get it to work. It downloads the Keel binary, clones down Shore, spins up Python virtual environment for all that, and then installs Nginx for you if you already don't have it installed in the box. So it's really doing all the heavy lifting for you at this point. Now, because I gave it an IP earlier instead of a real domain, it just quietly goes with a self-signed certificate here. It doesn't even ask me. It knows an IP and can do a proper cert. It just handles it. If you had put in an actual domain, this is a spot where it would ask you to pick a self-signed certificate, a Let's Encrypt certificate over IP, or one over DNS. Or just bring your own cert. And now I've said yes to auto updates. There's that schedule question. Options are every 5 minutes, hourly, daily, 3 daily, and 4 daily for your own or your own custom cron expression. For now, I'll leave it on the daily default. Please note it will also pick up a random external port for Nginx while we're at it, so the very last thing it spits out is your full URL, port, prefix, and all. That's the thing we're about to paste straight into the browser. And let's open up that browser. And there we go, the install is done. Like I said, it picks up a random Nginx port, on top of that, a random URL prefix, so let's open it with exactly what is handed to us. Now, because the cert is self-signed, your browser is going to throw a warning at you. That's completely normal, don't panic. Just click Advanced, then Proceed, and you're through. If you were running on a real domain with Let's Encrypt, you would not see this screen. Quickly a heads up though, first time I went through this, I actually hit a crash right around here. That was the Python version mismatch in how the installer was setting up Keel. I reported it, it's already been fixed upstream, so you're not going to run into this normally. Anyways, let's set it up. So, same deal, install is done. Random engine exports, random prefix, let's open it with what it gave us. A self-signed cert, so the browser flags it again, that's to be expected. Again, click advanced, then proceed, and then go on with the real domain, which doesn't really have this whole step. And there it is, Holt Chat running on your own private server. And now because I set that instance password earlier, it asked for me. And remember, we set a password earlier, so it's going to ask me for that right off the bat before I do anything else. So I'll type that in, hit done, and I'm in. From there, it lets you sign up. It will ask you to set a password for your new account, and then it also, of course, wants a username. I'll just call myself test and sign up right now. Now that part's done. This one's important. It gives me a chance to save my credentials. I'm going to hit that download button, and you will have that file sitting in your downloads folder. Hang on to that, it's important. Okay, click done, and now we get a little Holt Chat tour guide. You can just skip right past that if you want to, but over here we can create a channel. So let's make a group first. We'll name that test as well, and here we are. From here you can just fire off messages, and that's basically it. It's running, and now we can also show you how to manage it from the server side, because there's a few commands that you should know once it's up and running. If you want to know that the backend is actually running normally, you should run systemctl status holt-keel. I'll put that up on the screen so you can see it. And it's worth noting, you can also check the engine status right there. And if you ever need to bounce the service, just restart it like this and you can see it restarting right there live. The restart is already taking a little bit, so I'm just going to skip that. No use sitting here. You restart it with the restart command I just showed you, and you can fully stop keel with the command stop. If something is acting up and you want to see the logs live, you can just tail them with journal ctl-u holt-keel-f, and if you can't all figure that out, I'll put that on the screen right there. And there you go, those are all the keel logs right there. Now say you want to change something down the road, maybe renew your SSL cert or flip the auto updates off. You don't need to redo the whole thing, you can just run the installer again with sudo /install-sh, and this time you just pick the modify instead of the install, point it all to your install directory that your original installer went to, and from there you can just renew the cert, turn off auto update, whatever you need. And honestly, that's the whole thing. You've got it fully running, self-hosted and end-to-end encrypted chat server. And we went from blank server to entirely logged in a matter of 5 minutes. And if you want more control over how it's all wired up, here's the manual Docker install I mentioned before. I'll drop a link in the description for that, and for the Let's Encrypt steps too, if you're setting up a real domain. If this helped you out, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, and be here for more self-hosting tips. And I'll catch you on the next one.